Good Saturday morning to you. This VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook is valid the rest of today, Saturday, through next Friday, May the 21st. Vigorous springtime jet stream energy will bring fairly active weather pattern for this weekend into a portion of next week with marginal utility concerns. First concern will be this Saturday evening for thunderstorms. That'll be followed up by gradient wind gusts during the afternoon and evening hours on Sunday and into Monday, and even a return to wet sugar snows for Sunday night into Monday morning. Good project weather days the rest of Saturday today and next Tuesday. Sharply below normal temperature transition will roll in with that vigorous jet stream, supplying much colder air into the region on Sunday aloft and then reaching into the surface during Sunday night and into Monday. Then moderation in temperature for the middle part of next week. Several things to look at here. We're dominated, and I mean dominated, by this area, this cutoff low pressure system. This is a very strong out-of-season standard deviations of about 2 or 3 here. Very cold temperatures, and this is the 300 millibar heights propelling first a frontal system, a shortwave trough, one of those exiting. That was yesterday's precipitation. We remain in between until this moves in later this afternoon. But this little puppy here means business, and we have some marginal issues to worry about for utilities. Quick look at a schematic here. This is a meteogram centered on Montpelier, Vermont, for both the GFS as well as the European model, and they're remarkably close. We have temperatures around 70 degrees today on this Saturday, and then things get a little bit dicey. A big fall in temperatures you can see here, and then temperatures gradually rebound as we head into next week. This area here is subject to a little bit of unsettled weather with minor amounts of precipitation, and this is subject to change. Not all computer modeling is on board with this. However, we are looking at a pretty good Tuesday. Things turn downhill just a little bit Wednesday in terms of unsettled conditions, but temperatures continue a moderation as we head into the late part of next week, and potentially for next weekend looks like pretty good weather. What I want to call your attention to, though, is as temperatures get colder aloft and at surface, by the time we get into Monday morning, we have some issues here with some wet snow. This out-of-season wet snow with leaf out starting to take transition into many of our local valleys, especially central and southern Vermont. Higher elevations where the snow is really going to be accumulating, the leaf out has not happened yet, and so thresholds don't appear to be lowered. However, it's something we'll have to watch. It's close and on the cusp, but I think we're going to be okay. With all the utility concerns with this precipitation event and some stronger gusty winds on Sunday afternoon and evening as well as Monday afternoon and evening, all of this taking place with little in the way of leaf out. Let's get right to some of the dynamics here. This is the GFS plume centered on Burlington, Vermont, and you see here we have a period of a little bit of snow. This is again centered on Burlington. If this was Montpelier, we'd probably see a little bit more in the way of snowfall. But here's that unsettled weather for the early to mid part of next week, or mid to late next week, and just too soon here, but there's something the models are keying off of, a little bit of unsettled precipitation chances, fairly light and low. This will be our main concern, I think, watching some wet snow, potential loading in some of the higher elevations where as much as 3 to 7 inches are a big-time possibility in the northern Green Mountains. The other issue is maybe a couple isolated benign thunderstorms. Wind shear looks like it's not going to be a big deal, as well as instability. And the 6-hourly panels for pressure and precipitation using the European model. You can see here comes the inbound frontal system with precipitation arriving fairly late in the day, and this will continue to move on through. It's relatively light, so we're not looking at anything major, but colder air supplied. This is valid 2 o'clock on Sunday, and you can see that that precipitation increases a little bit with an upslope flow, and the pressure gradient tightens up here. So this is what we're talking about here, starting really into the day on Monday. And then beyond that, looks like we have a pretty nice day on Tuesday, and as we get into Wednesday, just some very minor unsettled conditions here. But this area of higher pressure is going to try to build in and actually bring us some nice weather. It's just right now a little bit on the unsettled side with some pop-up light shower activity. This is valid now about Saturday, beyond this period, and into the day on Sunday. We might actually have a pretty decent weekend. And temperatures and thicknesses support warmer conditions as temperatures moderate upward. So all good in the temperature department as we head toward next weekend, thankfully. And looking at weighted temperatures from the Weather Prediction Center, this is the next 5-day high temperature anomalies, and pretty significant here. We're talking 15 degrees below normal, 12 degrees below normal across parts of Vermont. Fairly significant. 3 days later, we warm up a little bit to near neutral in eastern New England, but 3 degrees below normal weighted maximum temperatures, and about 3 days later. So we get that little bit of moderation starting to kick in and reduce the anomalous temperatures a little bit. Quick look at the 7-day total precipitation accumulations. We're running about an inch here to about a half inch here, a quarter inch here. So nothing spectacular in terms of big accumulated QPF or quantitative precipitation accumulation. So generally things dry out just a little bit. A lot of this will start to become suppressed by the jet stream with that flow around that upper low, and push a lot of the heavy weather to the south of us. This is where there's going to be a lot of thunderstorms and severe weather outbreaks. Suppressing the jet stream to the south will actually improve conditions once we get past this active weather period, passed along about Monday night or Tuesday morning. Well, the European model has been relatively robust on the snowfall accumulations as we go in time. This is on Saturday. You can start to see the makings here of a little bit of snow that's going to begin to accumulate. It's really on Sunday and into Sunday night and Monday that we see the most accumulation. Okay, that's valid Monday morning. That's Monday afternoon. And that's going to be about it. Everything begins to wind up. So taking a look at the European model, once again, the 6-hourly totals and not total precipitation accumulated. We can see this is valid on Sunday afternoon and then Sunday night and into Monday morning. And then Monday about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, things pull away. Temperatures begin to make a little bit of a rise and so forth. But fairly significant wet snow event here, very much out of season. And it's going to be proving to be mostly a travel issue, I suspect. Less so a utility issue, but it's a close one and something we're going to have to monitor. Worst case scenario, probably your upper elevations of some of our mountain passes and some populations and the upper intermediate hill country could be affected by wet snow loading. So far there's no leaf out, and that's a very good thing. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.